Alright, MrSotko here, and welcome back to another Starcraft 2 replay cast. Today it's a 1 vs 1 on Dusk Towers between our blue Protoss player, LiquidMana, and up top we have our pink Zerg player, Reynor, both Grandmaster players. Going to be a very, very good game indeed. Going to speed this up to the 2x, to the 8x mark, for the 2-minute point of the game. And all the units are out and about, and everything gets a little bit better than watching pylons. See, this is basically, if you don't speed it up, this is what we got. Which is pretty cool, by the way, but we want to get to the good meat and potatoes of the game. And early expansion, of course, from the Zerg, and somewhat for the Protoss. Gonna start out with Stalkers. No Adepts this time around, which is usually the meta, if you will. Everybody's going Adepts lately. Adept crazy, and a Stargate somewhat early as well. Not going for that Robo Bay right off the bat, not going for that Warp Prism, so we'll see what he decides to do here. If he's just going to go an Oracle or what. Stalker will take out this Overlord eventually. Sooner or later, and it's gonna get it. 1, 2, 3, there we go. And First Blood has been called there. And that's a fun addition to some of the replays that I've been seeing lately, because why not? Zerg now has an expansion in the natural in the back there. And gonna get rid of those pesky unbuildable rocks. Screw those unbuildable rocks. Nope, he's just gonna leave them wounded to die and bleed. Those poor unbuildable rocks. Now the Adept is out and about. And is going an Oracle. The Stalker on patrol at the moment, waiting for anything sneaky to come on in the base and spot what he is doing. A couple more gateways coming down, so the Oracle's going to come out. Stalker was just defending the area here, just in case any Overlords came along and spotted his evil plans. And now the Adept here is in a little trouble. I don't think this Adept's going to make it out of here. He could transfer away, but now forces those Zerglings out of there with that Oracle. Going to come back, try and get rid of this Stalker here. It does. And I would say that is worth it, even just to lose a few Zerglings to kill a Stalker. Sure, why not? That's what Zerg is all about. Now the gateway's coming down. And Zergling's going after the probe now. Should be able to get that. Overcharges that pylon. I'm going to use the Mothership Core to shoo those away. I'm going to hold off on that Pulsar Beam for a little bit. Doesn't quite have the energy to do so. Transferring out and about here into the center. And the Adept's going to try and get around those Zerglings. Going to try and make it to the Zerg base and see what's going on. There's a Spore Crawler there. Spore Crawler coming up. Spore Crawler at the main as well. So Oracle's going to have a hard time getting a lot of kills there. Should be able to snipe a couple here and there, but those pesky Spore Crawlers always popping up just when you don't need them. Adepts here transferring, gonna get some free Zergling kills and then disappear. Now gonna show up right on that Queen there. Takes out one Queen and gonna transfer at the mineral line here. Gonna try and get a few of these drones. Gonna try and Maynard some of them drones away there. But the Zerglings distracting those Adepts. And he's definitely just got to focus on some of these drones here. Get some of those down. And there he goes. Gets one, gets a few. And now they have transferred on over to the other side, but the Zerglings were ready for that. And that creep making them run all the way over there very, very quickly. The Oracle's so low on energy here. Let's see if he's making another Oracle. We have the production tab here. Rather, the production tab is there. Warp Prism on the way. Level 1 ground weapons 1. And some Zealots being warped in there. Stop this onslaught of Zerglings that's just about to arrive here. And 4 Zealots should be enough, along with that Mothership Core there, to take out these Zerglings. But they're going to get around. And nope. The force field goes down just in time. Forces them back. And the Oracle now at 44 energy. Should be able to get away with a little bit of killing. But there's an Overlord going to come over here and spot the Oracle. And his vision is all over that. Roachwarn on the way for the Zerg. Nubatized Carapace for those Overlords. Something you don't see all the time, I suppose. The Overseer is going to benefit from that quite a bit. I suppose the Overlords as well, but the Overseer already moves pretty fast. The Nubatized Carapace, they move really fast. Now the Zerg melee 1 on the way as well. And charge for those Zealots to catch up to these Zerglings, as they seem to be juking fairly well there. Losing some on the process of said juking. Warp in being called down here on the Warp Prism, and made its way here, warped in a lot of Zealots. And now Zerg in a little bit of trouble up here, but a ton of Roaches are on the way. Looks like 9 Roaches and 12 Zerglings on the way. And now surrounding these Zealots here, and he's going to pick up and leave. I figured a couple more Zealots might be able to do the trick down there, but he wants to pick up, play it safe, and just send some Zealots over here and annoy him. And there's also a Zealot rush over here at the fresh expansion. Takes out that hatchery there. And a Phoenix takes out a Overlord on the left side of the map. And I'm going to drop in again here, but is subject to that Spore Crawler. And he's really got to move out of there very, very low. 22 health left on that. And now the Zealots overwhelmed again. Could call in some more Zealots there. Warping some more down here. Looks like he's going to play it safe for a little bit. Psystorm is on the way. And the Stasis Ward has been placed down there for any drones, but the one Zergling there sets it off. 2 Zerglings, rather. Nope, a Larvae. Chilling there, gets subject to that Stasis. And now some Mutalisks on the field here for the Zerg. However, there are some Phoenix, I do believe. It looks like just 1 Phoenix, so not going to be quite enough to take out those Mutalisks. 6 on the field and heading towards the Protoss now. Some more pylons coming down here. And could overcharge those to shoo away some of these Mutalisks here, but they're going to get past that pretty fast. Photon Cannon coming down at the mineral line. And is there one coming down everywhere? No, it doesn't look like it. So he could be vulnerable in other places as well. Tickle Cannon's on the way here. Stalker's firing away. And Mothership Core may fall here, but he's in a little bit of trouble there. And overcharges those pylons. And now needs to just sort of bail out of here. And Psystorm kills his own probes there and does virtually nothing to the Mutalisks. Very unfortunate Psystorm. And Phoenix is trying to micro away from those Mutalisks. And there goes an Immortal, a target for those Mutalisks. And there they go. Finally going after that. Could have done a lot more damage to that Immortal should they have reacted faster. Zerg now preparing at base here. 11 Mutalisks on the field in production here. We have an additional Mutalisk, some flyer attacks, missile attacks, and air weapons level 1 for the Protoss here for these Phoenix. And doing a lot of damage to these Mutalisks, including the damage from that one Stalker is adding up. And the Mutalisk attack really didn't amount to too much. We have some Hydralisks on the way and a little ball of Roaches. So we'll see how that does against the Protoss, but this is a pretty formidable army. The Hydralisk will do well against this, but the Roaches not so much, so the meat will melt away pretty quickly to all of these Immortals. And then all that's left is going to be those Hydralisks and, of course, the occasional wave of Zerglings, which will be eaten up by Zealots and the Archon pretty easily. Another Archon on the field here. And the Mutalisks try to get around again, but the Phoenix are ready for such an attack. The Protoss moving on out slowly here. I'm going to try and get rid of this Overlord. No spies allowed. And Phoenix chasing down some of those Mutalisks, and just 4 left. We do have some Lurkers now being evolved on in metamorphosis, if you will. Now these Lurkers are going to do a tremendous amount to the Protoss army, especially these Zealots. However, the Observer now taken out, so you cannot see these Lurkers anymore. I don't see another Observer. So now he's in a little bit of trouble here. The LiquidMana still fighting back fairly well, picks up all the remaining Hydralisks, but there are 3 Lurkers here that he can't spot. I don't believe he can see these. I don't see an Observer. And doesn't have an Observer in his unit repertoire at all, so he's going to have to back out for now. Unable to take the damage of those Lurkers. until he gets another Observer going. And a Spore Crawler going to be laying down here. Moving up on the Protoss, but the Warp Prism going to come around and looks like pretty vulnerable up here. So the Hydralisks are now moving on up. And Warp Prism going to run right into these Hydralisks. Probably going to lose that. No, moves it away just in time. A good eye on that. All those Hydralisks would have pretty much one or two shotted, considering how fast they shoot. Fire or spit, whatever you want to call it. And it's weird because I don't think I've ever seen the Hydralisks actually spit and shoot their barbs in an actual CGI video. I remember Starcraft 1, they would always just attack with their claws, all the Marines on that science vessel. What was that, the Verigo? I can't remember what that was. That was a really, really cool CGI video. If you guys are not familiar with StarCraft 1, you need to be, first of all, as it was amazing. And some of the CGI videos in StarCraft 1 were actually pretty amazing, even for the mid-90s. Very, very alien-esque, if you will. And Reynor has to GG out. The superior power of the Protoss this time around prevails. And just pretty much got outplayed that time around. That Mutalisk attack really didn't do too much. Tried to get into some of these probes, but just really got outplayed by all of those Phoenix. And then sort of went down from there. But I hope you guys enjoyed this replay, and I will see you guys next time.